What in the world is going on in the Vatican? We've been talking about it this week, and it is upon us. Going to go unprecedented. Just a few hours, because they're ahead of us. They're going to open up 5 doors that they are calling portals. Is there any tie between that and the drone sightings and all the chaos of the world? I tend to believe that it's all tied together and something big is going down. We got a lot of breaking news tonight. Sandy will be joining us in a few moments. It's the big picture. Let's go. All right, everybody. So it is an amazing, amazing night to be here tonight. It is, when I was a kid, this was a big deal tonight because this was called Christmas Eve Eve. Was anybody like me when I was a kid? They talked about, and you'd go all the way back to Christmas Eve. And so somebody even called it Merry Christmas Adam, because Adam came before Eve. There it is. Merry Christmas Adam to everybody, because Adam came before Eve. So yeah, we're gonna have fun tonight. Let me do a few things here so the Queen can see all y'all's lovely comments coming in, filling in already tonight. It's going to be a big night. She's in the studio, and I think that she's ready. Somebody said the dynamic duo is in the house. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to fire that one. Okay. And then I'm going to bring. So
you really feel that way? That's encouraging.
I feel that way. Here we go.
All right.
The dynamic duo
is
in the house.
And glad to be back.
Yes.
On Christmas Eve.
Hey, it's Christmas Adam.
Okay.
Christmas Adam. Come on. And look, we're sporting our brand new coffee mugs.
Oh, my goodness. Don't you want one?
I had them positioned and you moved it. I worked so hard.
Okay, you can get it back. I just finally. I'm waiting for that.
I see greatness in you. Mm-hmm. How does it feel to know that your words, baby, is on a coffee cup now?
Pretty cool.
This is what you said to me all those years ago.
Cool.
And of course, this one, you can get your own awake, not woke coffee mug. And
what's next? Our own coffee blend?
That's coming. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Let me position these so people can see.
You're getting right. Get it where you want it.
There you go.
Merry Christmas, Amy, Shannon, and everyone else.
We got Sasquatches in. Sasquatch. Is it Sasquatch? Is behind you?
Yeti. Sasquatch.
Yeti. It's not Yeti. Yeti's a snowman. He's the abominable snowman.
Okay, you're probably right.
Yeah, that's Bigfoot Sasquatch, and he's in the Christmas mood. So
he is very Christmassy tonight, and we got to name him. I'm looking for a name. So
okay, let us know if y'all got some names for him. Give us a name.
But yeah, Merry Christmas! Oh my goodness,
we have had party after party after party
and
after
dinner
party
after dinner and shopping, and I'll have you know, I had to go out and brave the crowds today. Multiple stores.
I was not with you.
You were not there.
No.
I do not recommend it. And I'm praying for anyone that has to get out tomorrow.
All you dudes out there, they're waiting until tomorrow morning to go Christmas shopping.
What were you thinking?
Because I know you're out there.
Yeah. Not only will it be slim pickings, I'm praying for your safety.
You're praying for your safety.
And your nerves.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. It's doing a few things I didn't do before.
Okay. Work.
All right, so, we got some breaking news tonight. We always start with breaking news, and then we go into some of the topics of the day that we think we're going to talk about. This broke right before we went on the air tonight. Former President Bill Clinton has been hospitalized with a high fever, and really, there's not saying much more than that. They're saying, of course, they're spinning it very positive.
Is that a recent picture?
That's similar, but that's not really. He's been looking really rough lately.
He has. That's the roughest that I have seen.
He's older. He's lost a lot of weight.
He's lost weight. He's about 78 years old, but
let's read this article.
I don't know.
Former President Bill Clinton is 78. Was hospitalized on Monday with a fever, according to Deputy Chief of Staff. It is not an emergency situation, NBC is reporting. President Clinton was admitted to Georgetown University Medical Center this afternoon for testing and observation after developing a fever. He's in good spirits and grateful for the care that he is receiving. Obviously I'm not a big Bill Clinton fan, but hey, He's a human being, so I'm praying for his speedy recovery.
Absolutely.
Because you know what I always say with people that quite frankly have lived under demonic principles of their life, if they're still alive, there's a chance for them to get saved.
There's.
So if they're breathing, there's still a chance. But when they stop breathing, y'all, when you stop breathing, you ain't got no more chances. So
Certainly.
maybe God can put somebody in his path
Absolutely.
to point him in the right direction. So that's one thing that's going on today. I won't spend a whole lot of time on that. Now, one of the things that's very concerning is this guy that killed the insurance CEO.
United
Yeah.
Healthcare.
What is his name? Can't think of his name right now.
Luigi?
Luigi.
The killer.
The weird thing is he's become this cult icon.
Absolutely.
And the people are...
I want to marry you and have your baby kind of thing.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And not only that, but there's an uprising to kill other CEOs.
Yeah, copycats and all that.
Copycats and all that. That's just...
Yeah, it's very weird. And of course, they're protesting in the streets for him. But let's look at this article here. It says, accused killer of U.S. insurance CEO pleads not guilty to terrorist murder. So notice the wording, not guilty to terrorist murder. And that's what we're talking about. The man accused of gunning down a health insurance executive in a brazen hit in New York that sparked a fierce debate about the industry, pleaded not guilty Monday to state charges, including terrorist murder. Luigi Mangione wore a white shirt, burgundy sweatshirt. Oh, wow. They're describing him like he's a model, and was shackled during his appearance in a Manhattan court where he was flanked by police officers. Monday's hearing came after Mangione, 26, appeared in the New York court last week to face federal charges, also including murder following his dramatic extradition by plane and helicopter from Pennsylvania, where he was arrested at a McDonald's restaurant. The suspect charged is both state and federal court is in the December 4th shooting of United Healthcare Chief Executive Brian Thompson. Thompson's murder brought to the surface deep public frustration with the expensive and opaque U.S. medical insurance system, with many social media users painting Mangione as a hero. People demonstrating against the industry gathered outside the court Monday, brandishing banners reading "Free Luigi" and "Innocent until proven guilty." If convicted in the state case, Mangione could face life imprisonment with no parole. In the federal case, he could technically face the death penalty. Mangione's attorney has previously sought clarity on how simultaneous federal and state charges would work, calling the situation highly unusual.
Oh, my goodness. We've done this story. This has been like in the news, top news item many days. There are a lot of weird details about this story.
Very weird.
It's kind of sickening, the whole cult following that's been created. These kind of stories just are icky to me. I don't like it.
Because what they call the perp walk, when they brought him off that plane, there's people that's doing memes of side by side of the movie The Joker. And the mayor was walking behind all these police. I mean, it looked like something out of a movie. It's one guy in orange, all these police, these SWAT people are escorting. It looks so staged. I mean, there's something else going on.
And I'm sure this goes on in other countries, but my goodness, the world is watching. This is so demented.
Yeah.
These people that want to, idolize is probably not the right word, but he's got this following of people who just want to be with him, be like him, raise him up as this figure, and it's just messed up. It is wrong. The more the news, in the news, if it bleeds, it leads, okay? It was a popular story, and they only helped it to gain popularity, which only helped the cult following to rise.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a vicious cycle.
Yeah, and we're just in that weird lame duck area right now with Biden and Trump. It feels like it's always been January 20th, but it just feels like this is just too long of a wait here because too much chaos is happening.
What are you trying to say? You think there's still time for something to happen?
Well, Biden continues. He's still on his pardon role here.
He's like on the pardon tour or something.
He really is. Biden spares murderers who killed entire families, including children and infants.
This is crazy.
Today. President Joe Biden commuted the death sentences of 37 of the 40 federal inmates on death row. By the way, understand, there's 40 federal inmates on death row, and one of his last things he does is clear all them out except 3. I mean, how bad do you have to be those 3? I mean, I don't know what those 3 did for them not to get it.
They must have been able to pay up.
Yeah. Okay. 30.
Did I just say
Oh my goodness. 37 of the 40 federal inmates on death row on Monday, including cold-blooded murderers who have killed entire families and predators who have slaughtered innocent children. For example, Ricardo Sanchez. And even though this is on the news, I'm sure this is going to get us flagged. I mean, you can't say this kind of stuff, but it's ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and take a chance, and I'm going to read it. And Daniel Troy has been convicted by the brutal murder of an entire family. And he goes on. This article goes on Breitbart here to detail the just heinous events that happened because of these people and why they're on death row. And you know,
wait, pause for a second.
Yeah.
Big Chap is saying Dylan Roof was one of the 2. Was this one of the school Columbine? Was he a Columbine?
I don't know. I don't know what
Can
he's
you
talking
please
about.
remind us who Dylan Roof is?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
This is terrible.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is on top of my head there. But, yeah, that's where we're at. And he already had the single most pardons and, what do you call that, commutations of sentences in one day in the history of the presidency.
History.
And now we have 37 of the 40 death row inmates on the federal death row inmate.
He was part of he's the one who went into the church.
Okay. He's one of the ones that was pardoned? I haven't heard that.
I believe he said including Dylan Roof.
I haven't heard that.
So anyway, the most individual pardons and commutations, right? Plus, has any president ever dared think
one of
about?
them. You're right. Exactly right, Big Chap. He is. Yeah, they were granted clemency.
My goodness.
My goodness. And the pardons that the clemencies that happened, he just said, if you were put in house arrest during COVID, we're just going to wipe it out. And that's when you had the Chinese guy that had tens of thousands of images of child porn, okay? And then you had the judge that was convicted of running a human trafficking ring and all these. They were all
How
got
does this
out
happen?
just because they were on house arrest.
The highest number of pardons, plus you clear all but 3 people off of death row?
Yeah.
Has any other president ever dared think about doing that?
Never. And I always go back to this. If Donald Trump did that, they would lose their mind.
Of course.
And it's like, and by the way, let's remember, Joe Biden's not doing any of this. Let's remember this, okay? I'm not saying that he's not in the room. I promise you, none of these decisions have been made by him. Maybe some of them by Jill, but it is by the unelected. They're running their mouth, yan about Musk. Musk has too much power. Musk has too much power. We have a presidency that now it's convenient for the New York Times to come out this week and admit that he has been managed from day one. The very first day of his presidency, they have hit him and they have managed him. He has been on a decline, and they have known that. He has not been the president. The Wall Street Journal is admitting, and the New York Times as well is admitting this week that we have not had a president that is all in for 4 years. And so that tells me that what we're talking about right now was not done by the president.
This is really amazing to me. Okay, we've come to that conclusion for a while now, but to hear a news organization just come out and say this, like,
they got permission. They finally got permission. They got the narrative. Now you can go. They got the memo. Now you listen. They always knew it. They always knew it.
So, did they say the words committee has been run by a committee?
Well, no, but they basically said that there are people in the administration that would say, they would manage his day based on whether he's having a good day or bad day. Y'all, it came out this week and they admitted it. And finally, they already knew it, but they finally admitted it, that the day that they brought the slain soldiers from Afghanistan home, and he stood out there. You remember the famous thing where he looks at his watch and all this? They admitted it this week. They made those families wait for 3 hours on the tarmac while he slept in Air Force One because they said he was not manageable to go out in public. So they had to tell the family, we're going to have to wait, but because Biden was in the plane sleeping, trying to get whatever's on the IV so that he could stand out there. They made them wait for the bodies of their loved ones for 3 hours.
Again, that didn't have to be said. Okay, that's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
But it's, how many months have passed? I mean, we've got a little span of time between, that terrible day and now. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that being admitted to? Why is that being said for public consumption?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if my voice is a little raspy. I'm not really sick, just having some sinus issues.
Well, my opinion is it's not all this, but part of it is it's a narrative of this is the only way that Donald Trump could have won. It's because he was competing against.
Because you don't have to do that one.
Yeah.
You just didn't have to.
This is just listen. There's always an agenda.
I mean, the knife was already, stuck in.
Yeah.
You're just going to turn it there and let us revisit all those emotions. I mean, some of those families were very upset. And some of their statements got out were reported. Of course, you would be angry about the whole Afghanistan thing, not even understanding that he's making you wait for 3 hours while he gets juiced up. They were angry enough already at how that went down.
Yeah. Well, then we had the horrible thing that, this illegal immigrant sets this woman on fire on the subway just while she's sleeping, just sets her on fire. And of course, Sanctuary City, New York City, previously deported illegal alien, which during the Trump administration, he was deported.
What in the world?
And he came back across during the Biden administration. He is now accused of murdering a woman by setting her on fire in the subway and just stood there and filmed it. And other people filmed it as well. An illegal alien got away, previously reported by the Trump administration, is accused of murdering a woman in the New York City subway by setting her on fire. Sebastian Zappa Khalil, a 33-year-old illegal alien from Guatemala, was arrested by the New York City Police Department on Sunday after being caught on the subway surveillance footage, allegedly setting a woman on fire and then fanning the flames to burn her alive. Footage of the gruesome attack has circulated widely online, though NYPD has not yet released the identity of the woman. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, officials confirmed to Fox News that he had been an illegal alien who was among millions of so-called gotaways living in the United States after having successfully crossed the southern border without being detected. He was already deported by Donald Trump. And by the way, the law, if you was to follow the law, it says that if you are deported, you are banned from coming back in.
Right.
Okay. So here we have not only a criminal that was deported because he had criminal activity, he illegally was allowed to come across, and now he has absolutely horribly murdered a woman. Was he originally in New York before he was deported? I don't know. I mean, I'm curious. So, but you get deported, you come back, and if he was, you so easily just go right back where you were. I mean, we're talking about New York City. It'd be a little bit of work for me to get there. Yeah. And you're gonna. It's just so crazy. Yeah. How has our country turned into this? Exactly. This is our reality. It's just insane. It is insane. And that they said the details is that when he got across, he went immediately to New York. Why? Because New York is a sanctuary city. So he got housing. This is illegal that was deported, that would eventually burn somebody alive, had money, had housing, and had protection. But I want to show you, if you think all these companies, a lot of these companies, not all, but a lot of these companies doing away with their DEI, it seems like and almost feels like that people are pushing back. They've had enough. But let me tell you something about these companies. These companies are all about the money, and they're playing us, and the media especially look at the narratives that you have on. We have two horrible terrorist events that happened this week. One was an illegal alien burned someone alive in a subway, and then the other was an immigrant, legal, I don't know or not, in Germany, who was a Muslim who drove his car into the Christmas market celebration and just, killed people and maimed people. But I want you to see how they're reporting it. This is insane here. This is the same one. The New York Daily News says this. This is their headline. The far left New York Daily News reported that a woman died after she mysteriously caught on fire on a subway car. The headline is a straight up lie. Quote, this is the headline they ran with. Woman dies after she catches fire in a Brooklyn subway car. NYPD suspects homicide. There's the headline of the tweet. Woman dies after she catches fire in a Brooklyn subway car.
Oh my goodness.
That's how they're protecting illegal aliens. It's not that she was set on fire.
Yeah.
She just caught fire on a subway.
That is clearly misleading. That
is insane headline. That is very, very obvious what you're doing.
That needs to be called out. That needs to be stopped.
Then you have the horrible thing that happened in Germany.
Yes.
So you have a woman who just caught fire on a subway. And then you have this headline of Germany. Community notes on X slams Associated Press. The AP for saying that a car drove into a crowd at the Christmas market. Look at this. The Associated Press was slammed by people on X after receiving a community note after saying that a car drove into the... So this was their headline.
How about this? How about we don't say the car drove in, that someone drove a car?
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. Look at this. A car, this is the headline, a car has driven into a group of people at a Christmas market in Germany.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A car
has
driven into people.
This is Rush Limbaugh-ish. Remember way back? Probably almost 2 decades ago, when he would get on his soapbox about, guns don't shoot themselves, pews, and cars don't drive themselves.
Look at this. This is the actual post here. The Associated Press. A car has driven into a group of people.
What is the latest? I hate to say death toll, but death toll. I know there were at least 200 injured and over 10 people were killed.
Yeah, J.D. Vance said, who was driving the car, AP?
Yeah, how about that?
Who was driving the car? Yeah, you don't want to talk about the car, who was driving the car. A car, these are some of the tweets. A car all by itself. People are just mocking them. The media likes to write headlines like this because instead of being honest about the driver being a terrorist, they hope that you may just think it's one of those evil Elon Musk self-driving cars acting up again.
There you go. My goodness, you're just making entirely too much sense right here. Somebody had some smart content out there, but yes.
It's ridiculous.
Just divert attention away from the actual problem. Oh my goodness.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Y'all, we're trying to keep the Christmas spirit. Dude, all this mess that's going on in the world. We got Bigfoot's got his Christmas hat on.
Thank goodness. I should have worn mine.
Yeah, we should have come in here decked out instead of all this black. Mm-hmm. People will comment and say, "Why you always wear black?"
Hey, I do have my candy cane earrings.
Okay, good. By the way, if the reason I wear black is number one, I like the color black. Number two, it has a slimming effect.
Ditto.
All right, so how about this? How about not only can I not wait for this administration to get out, there are certain people in this administration that I certainly cannot. Mayorkas needs to be in jail. Yeah, did you hear me, Mayorkas? Because I know you did. But Mayorkas is the biggest joke of this entire administration. Listen to what he said. This is the director of Homeland Security. This is the guy that sat in Senate hearing after Senate hearing and said the border is secure. It's the most secure it's ever been. The border is closed.
I think what you mean is listen to what he said this time.
Yeah, exactly. Mayorkas says stopping trafficking of alien children is, quote, outside the responsibility of the Department of Homeland Security. What? 300,000 vulnerable children may be missing.
As we've stated multiple times on this show.
Exactly. So listen to our Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, said on Sunday that he is aware of reports of children being trafficked. Well, I'm so glad that he's aware of the reports that some children are being trafficked, but that stopping it is, quote, outside the responsibility of the Department of Homeland Security. More than 500,000 illegal immigrant children have been knowingly led into this country in recent years. About 120,000 a year under a policy shielding, quote, unaccompanied alien children. The New York Times found that 1/3 could not be located 30 days later. Mayorkas shrugged aside the high numbers of children that disappear, saying that some could be illegal immigrants refusing to cooperate with the conditions they agreed to. Individuals do not comply with the reporting obligations and otherwise. I think it's inaccurate to say that all of them are trafficked or victimized. He declined to take responsibility, of course, despite his agency's official watchdog, the DHS Inspector General, in August, issuing a report saying Immigration and Customs Enforcement, a division of DHS, must take immediate action to ensure the safety of UCs residing in the United States. Without an ability to monitor their location, ICE has no assurance UC, unaccompanied children, are safe from trafficking, exploitation, or forced labor. Wow. Well, how about this, buddy? Get out.
Yes.
And how about the pathetic Congress that refused to impeach this man? Right. This man is evil. This man is evil. This man knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows about these children, and he doesn't care.
We can't
He
get
may
rid
even be complicit
of him fast enough. So we know about these NGOs, these non-governmental organizations that receive a lot of these children and these people, and they're supposedly helping the situation, putting them into housing or holding areas, whatever it is they do. Are they getting funding from this government? Are they getting a boost from the government? If they were, in a legitimate or non-legitimate way, there needs to be some kind of accountability because they're a part of this. They're a part of a lot of this where these children can't be accounted for. They're missing. We can't find them. This is ridiculous.
It is. It is ridiculous. You know what else is ridiculous? When our government continues to get on the soapboxes and say, we don't have any idea what these drones are. They're not us, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, everything's fine.
They're not going to harm you.
Nothing to see here.
Y'all, they think we are idiots. And a lot of us are.
Yes.
And a lot of us have played along. But I tell you what.
Prove them correct.
Exactly.
Day after day.
More and more people, I believe, are waking up, though. So here's where I'm going to go now. All right. So we're going to transition a little bit on this show. And we're going to talk. We're not through with the drones because the drones are still happening. In fact, the news cycle is shifting from it being the number one news item all the time, but reports are they are increasing.
They're increasing.
They're not going away.
That is what I have been hearing.
They are increasing. But now I want to show you a couple of news articles that are dated yesterday and today. So these are current news articles. This one is from TWZ called The War Zone. Scroll up here and say this is a War Zone site. It's a very reputable site. It says nuclear power plants report massive uptick in drone sightings. Drone reports filed by nuclear power operators for the entire year. See, this is what we've been saying. This is not a new news thing. Yeah. They just got the memo. We need to start talking about this and letting videos be shown, because I'm going to tell you in just a minute why I believe this is all a part of the plan.
Oh, you got some speculation?
I got some speculation.
All right. Everybody, please stay tuned.
Yes.
Do not leave.
Conjecture alert. Conjecture. I heard that word a lot. Stan Dale used that word a lot, and I thought, I'm going to use conjecture. All right. So nearly doubled in just this week for the entire year, but nearly doubled in just this week after December 10th. And, of course, this is a shot of a nuclear power plant here. The number of drone flyovers of nuclear plants in 24 nearly doubled from December 10th to December 17th,
My
according to
goodness.
data provided from the War Zone by Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Between January 1st and December 10th, Nuclear Facility License reported a total of 15 drone events. As of 1 p.m. on December 17th, that number had jumped to 26. NRC spokesman told the War Zone on Friday in response to our query. While the timeline overlaps a rash of drone sightings across the country, and especially in the New Jersey area, including over military installations and energy infrastructure, it is unclear at the moment what, if any, connection there is to the dramatic increase in suspicious drone events over nuclear facilities.
We can't imagine
Unclear?
what they could possibly want or be doing.
It's unclear. That's why I can't stand when they go, motive still unknown. It's unclear.
Did we report here about the drone that was hovering over the solar panels?
We did. That was supposedly recharging.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You know what? The news is going to be so happy in a day or two when they can start reporting on all the travel backups and delays and da-da-da-da-da.
That'll be the news
so
cycle.
they can relieve themselves a little bit of this story only to pick it back up when that's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you and I both know, and the Big Picture family certainly knows this, this is a laid out plan.
Yes.
This does, on this magnitude, because it would be one thing if somebody just somehow slipped through and a drone made it over the White House, and that was a big news one-day coverage. No, this is thousands of drones being seen globally. Mm-hmm. People are now being able to film them. They are showing their lights, and look, y'all, to me, it's on purpose that they have FAA regulation colored lights so that they had that narrative as well. Whatever they are, they know what the rules are. They're obeying the rules. But y'all, you don't know what to believe with AI and everything, but there are videos that are very clear and it looks real that they are spraying. Some of them are spraying. Some of them are, and they're not just being seen at night. They're being seen at daytime as well. These are not planes. Then you have the orbs that are appearing, some of them coming out of the drones, circling the drones. Nobody's talking about the orbs on the mainstream media, but yet a lot of the videos that you see in the mainstream media are cut right before the orb comes in. So there's just craziness. Look at this right here. Yeah. This is just what I'm talking about. These are the kind of things that they don't want to report. The Coast Guard is now saying the White House is making beep up after his vessel, it's a guardsman for the Coast Guard, says was tailed by a fleet of drones. He says there are some very irate Coast Guardsmen down in the Baragnock Light, New Jersey area. Federal officials have shrugged off accounts from U.S. Coast Guard members that their 47-foot-long rescue vessel was trailed by a fleet of 12 to 30 drones while patrolling the Atlantic Ocean earlier this month. And that's not sitting well with the sailors who witnessed the mystery swarm. They're going on record now and saying it's the implication that's insulting, said the Coast Guard member who spoke on a condition of anonymity. It's implying that we're making this blank up when the ones making the blank up are in Washington, D.C.
Oh.
Wow. The sailor spoke to the Post days after the FAA imposed temporary flight restrictions over parts of New Jersey and New York. He said he was one of the 12 crew members on the boat that night. Quote, we were actually out there to see if we could spot any drones because of all these sightings. Well, we found some drones, or more accurately, they found us. Wow. The drones appeared out of nowhere about 9 p.m. and followed the boat for approximately 15 minutes. When the vessel shifted course, so did the drones. I'm terrible with measurements, but the swarm was about 80 to 100 feet above us. They had 4 propellers, 7 feet across, the flashing lights like you've seen, the festive green, red, and white lights. The drone swarm kept pace with the Department of Homeland Security vessel, which was cruising at around 20 knots, which is over 20 miles an hour. The Guardian said the drones eventually climbed maybe another 100 feet, then banked left towards the shoreline and out of sight. Commercial airlines don't move like that, He said, I've been out there on the water when planes were coming in for landings in New York, and trust me, you can tell the difference. We're not idiots. We know what drones look and sound like.
Well, this is the man right here.
Yeah.
That's going to calm our fears and let us know exactly what's going on, right?
Oh, yeah. He's such a truth teller. This dude right here was one of the most complicit covering up Biden's mess than anybody in America. These people should be taken up before judges.
I agree. I imagine he was paid pretty well.
Yeah.
For the job that he
had. And they're all
going to
get book deals. They're all going to get book deals. Yeah. They're all going to be millionaires.
Probably.
Yeah, they're all going to be millionaires because that's what they were promised. Just keep your mouth shut. Let's try to make it through this. And y'all, let's not forget, up until the debate, they were still running him for president.
Yes. Wow.
What? Now they're admitting that he has not been the president since day one. For 4 years, we had a shadow government running this nation, and they were ready to run him again.
Man, I'm still beside myself that all this is coming out about his condition, how far back it goes, all of this stuff.
All right, I want to know what this means, Montessa. We're going to cover it. Google has swept the information about the Pope opening portals. Okay, interesting. We're going to cover it and see if we get flagged, and that's coming up in just a few minutes. We're going to cover it extensively because we're building towards that. Because I got a hypothesis that the drone sightings and the orb sightings are tied to what is going to happen on Christmas Eve tomorrow night with the Pope. That's where I'm going with this. I believe they're tied. I believe it's all a part of some spiritual thing that's happening. That there is an intensity of the demonic realm and the dimensions crossing, and I'll tell you what, I've read some of the comments on my previous show, which is very interesting. That's probably our biggest show we've ever had. The little short 8-minute video that I did on it. If you hadn't seen it yet, I'm going to show you the highlight of it in just a minute, and you can go back and watch it. But people were like, "I'm Catholic, and you fear-mongering people. This is just opening the door." This one guy said, "This is how the Pope opens the door to invite the world into Jesus." Jesus said he was the door. I remember in John 10, he said, "I am the door. And no, if anybody comes through any other door than me, he is a thief and a robber."
I think Papa Sig's in the house. Hello,
What's up, Papa Sig? He said, "Oh, I'm here for this, y'all. I'm here for the fire." Papa Sig's in the house.
Woo! Merry Christmas to you, by the way.
By the way, yeah. So here we go, y'all. Let me show you this video right here, and then we're going to break down how I believe it's tied. One more thing about the drones. It'll be a real quick video, and then we'll get into my
Says the
theory.
drone detection equipment they received from the federal government isn't doing much to help them find out why the mystery aircraft have been seen in his state. The FAA implemented a temporary ban on drones in parts of New Jersey and New York until mid-January. In the meantime, the federal government says the drones do not pose a public threat. The Pentagon also saying they are not U.S. military or from...
Okay, so I go back to your narrative is they're not a public threat. Don't worry about them. They are not military, and we don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Go to bed tonight. Enjoy your Christmas.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, Siggs, if you're still in the house, Pop Siggs, somebody saw you and they said, "Bingo." So that's an inside joke there, inside joke. But
yeah.
Now watch this. This is another theory. So you've got the one theory, then you've got this former intel officer saying that drones are trying to intercept UFOs. You'll recognize this guy. And his former U.S. counterintelligence, Luis Elizondo, says that some of the drones being witnessed across the United States represent Department of Defense's efforts to intercept UFOs. I think I got a little video down here, possibly, if I can find it. Is it on here? I thought I did.
Intercept UFOs. I think they have a better chance of sniffing out that radiation than they do intercepting a UFO.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
boy.
let me see if I can get this right here, because I thought I had a video, because I want y'all to, here it is. So this is Luis Elizondo.
There are some people who have reported that these things are coming out of the water and they're zipping off away at fantastical speeds. If that's the case, what we may have here is a confused public. We might have some people reporting true UAP events followed by a Department of Defense response by launching drones to go ahead and try to find these UAPs. In the old days, when you had a sensitive military installation or a Department of Energy facility and you had an incursion across a perimeter, you would usually send up a helicopter. But that requires having to wake up a pilot and starting the helo and getting it started and flying it. Now we have the technology to literally geofence a facility. And if something comes across, automatically these drones deploy to their pre-planned coordinates and start doing the racetrack mapping back and forth. Which some of these drones appear to be doing. They just kind of go back in this lazy racetrack, back and forth, scanning for something. There is some anecdotal videos. They'd have to be analyzed to see if they're legit or not. But some of these show traditional drones trying to intercept, some of the videos now online, intercept some of these lights. And they wind up getting shut down and falling out of the sky. And meanwhile, the big set of lights just kind of disappears, has been reported by some law enforcement.
Yeah, I saw that or part of it the other day, and I found that very interesting. And I think the Justice for Men is working for him in the hair department. So,
Oh my Lord! Only Sandy would point that out.
I'm not criticizing because Miss Clairol is working great for me. So.
Yes. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea about
You have
for men.
no concept
No
of
concept
Just for
whatsoever.
Men, right? Mm-hmm.
Now look, watch this. Okay, so you heard what he said. He said that some of these drones are having their power zapped and they're falling to the ground. Watch this. This is how I'm telling you. This news cycle is all tied together right now. This is a horrible thing, and I'm praying for this young boy. But y'all, this happened in Orlando this week. A 7-year-old boy is fighting for his life after being injured by falling drones during a Christmas holiday show that went terribly wrong. Thank you for that super chat,
Yes.
Audrey.
Thank you,
Oh, that's a
Audrey.
nice one. Thank you so much, Audrey. A 7-year-old boy is in critical condition in the ICU after being struck by a drone during a Saturday night aerial holiday show in Lake Eola in Orlando. The incident happened around 6:45, and approximately 25,000 people attended, enjoying the family-free event. And it says the bystander captured the video of over 200 drones forming a red and green holiday display when several, malfunctioned. Here's my question. I'm going to go right back to it. We have not heard of these drone displays massively malfunctioning before. I'm not saying they haven't happened, but we have not seen these kind of things. We've been amazed at the images, what they can do in the sky.
Yes.
Now
It's
you
very
have Luis
impressive.
Elizondo talking about orbs and lights taking care and bringing down, and you have this massive thing. So my theory is, are we going to begin to see more and more things like this? Because who knows what have might been around this display. Let me go back. Because what he just described is what happened. These drones started malfunctioning out of nowhere, and they started hitting each other, colliding midair and falling to the ground. This is the video. Look at them falling. They're just hitting the ground. They're going everywhere.
Unbelievable.
It's unreal. Let me see if we got some sound on this.
Terrible.
Look, look how fast. Y'all, this is obviously this kid's in the ICUs and
Yes.
he's fighting for his life. But you see how hard they're hitting. What is happening to these drones?
Exactly.
No one has ever seen this happen until, is this the next phase of the drone narrative? Were we able to see drones and talk about drones so that we could be mentally prepared for the drones, and then all of a sudden now we gotta have the government to come in and save us from what's bringing these drones down.
Okay, well, what we better hope is that what John D'Souza said is going to happen down the line, that doesn't happen, that we're going to see commercial airliners being attacked and crashing.
Yeah. The sound is just them
So-
going, oh my God, get out
Yeah.
of the way, get out of the way. But
You
that's
can
just
imagine the
look
horror.
at that. Look at that. They're there as their family to see
Families
Christmas.
standing there.
They're not just going down, they're going left and right. They're hitting each other. What is making these drones? You know, this company had no idea this was going to happen.
No.
They would have never done that because this is the lawsuit in the multi-millions of dollars.
This is a PR disaster, too.
You can see people jumping out of the way, running.
Right.
That is insane, y'all.
It's crazy.
I believe, and I hope I'm wrong. This is one of them kind of things that I say again. I hope I'm wrong. We're probably going to see more and more of this because we are so enamored by technology. We just look and we say, "Oh, look, they're making a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's a bird. Oh,
Yes.
it's amazing." We don't think. No one's ever thought, what would happen if something caused these things to just start going crazy? Well, we see the video.
There
This
you
is
have
the
it.
first, I believe, of many times we're going to see this. And I hope I'm
telling you.
wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
The answer to your question, hopefully it doesn't get any worse than that. I mean, it's out there. The technology's there. The interest is there. People are going to want to continue to have these drone shows. But if you're, a family in the back of your mind, hopefully you're saying, am I safe? Is my family safe? How far back do I need to be?
Yeah, exactly. It's going to cause, it's all about fear.
Yeah.
And I know people accuse us of being fear mongers. Listen, we try to mix when we give you things that you should be
Yes.
concerned with
Yes.
with getting your heart right with God. Because the
Absolutely.
reality is this. That's why we call it the big picture, is because we're not just talking about natural things. We're talking about spiritual things. There are spiritual powers and principles, y'all, that are very real. You can check out, unsubscribe to me if you want to. I'm never going to apologize for the fact that the reason we're trying to tell you what's going on with the Pope, what's going on with portals, what's going on with UFOs and aliens, what
Yes.
are they? It's because we know the world is lined up ready to give you
Right.
their explanation of the narrative, and we're going to give you a biblical worldview.
Right. And we're trying to be informative. Some of the things we talk about are worrisome, okay? They are concerning, but hopefully this is to help you hopefully make better choices and decisions of what you come in contact with, what you allow your family to consume, how you need to go forth in making decisions in your life. We need to be informed.
Yes.
I don't think the Lord would have us to stick our head in the sand
Say that.
and not know anything that's happening. Thank you, Jenny, for that super chat.
So I want to say thank you to Jenny for Super Chat, and I also want to thank Fernbirds has given multiple memberships
Oh,
away
that's
tonight
great. I missed
to
that.
multiple people out there. I'm
Wonderful.
seeing that a bunch of people are getting memberships
Wonderful.
from Fernbirds. So thank you so much to that. All the people that support us, man, y'all. Let me just throw that up there. Well, I thought I had it, but I don't have it. To thank the partners. Yeah, I do. There it is. Is that it right there? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Wrong one.
That's a Thanksgiving message.
Why is that still there? There it is right there. There it is. Thank you, partners. Thank
Yes.
you, partners. Yeah.
Very, very much.
We appreciate
Very,
you so
very
much. We appreciate you so much. All right, let's get into the tie of the Pope, because a lot of people are here for that because it's people searching for it because this thing, and I don't know what time it is in Rome right now. Does anybody know what time it is in Rome? Let me ask Osiris here real quick and right live. What time is it at the Vatican right now? It's 2:48 a.m. tomorrow. So it's Christmas Eve, 2:48 over there already. So and I don't know what time today for them, which will be Christmas Eve, they're going to do this. But this is what is just really, really strange. And I know I'm not Catholic. There might be some people in here that's Catholic that would be like, this is not strange. This is normal for us. We do this every 25 years in Jubilee. But y'all, the timing and the fact that it is unprecedented. Notice the headline here.
Yes.
Breaking Pope to perform sacred ritual that's never been done before. Okay, so you've opened the doors every 25 years and all that, but you've never done what he's doing. And one of the things that he's doing, and I want you to think about it, he is opening the door of a prison. And when you understand the spirit realm and you know the Bible, you know that there are certain demons that are bound in a spiritual
Come
prison
on now.
that will be released in the last days. Now, I'm not saying that that's what this is, but I can tell you that the Bible says that first the natural, then the spiritual. When you see things happening, like that's why you see earthquakes happening in the natural, and then Hebrews chapter 12 says the spirit realm will be shaken. So I believe that this unprecedented thing done by the Vatican in the natural is a precursor to some doors that are being opened in the spirit realm.
Ooh, well said.
So let's watch a little bit of this.
Yes.
I'm going to mute this because this is what got me flagged last time. All right, so Pope Francis is set to break centuries of Catholic tradition, including an unprecedented door at a prison, marking a groundbreaking moment in the church's 2,000-year history. The Vatican will launch its Jubilee year on Christmas Eve, 24th December, the first holy door opening at St. Peter's Basilica. That's going to happen the first. So the extraordinary event represents a powerful symbolic journey of spiritual renewal according to the papal announcement. It's all staged. He's not really opening. Pope Francis will ceremonially open holy doors. Another word for doors is portal. Magic Basilica's one prison, signaling a radical approach to expressing divine mercy and hope. The 5 locations will include St. Peter's Basilica, the Archbasilica, St. John Laterna, the Basilica of St. Mary Major, the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, and Roby, a prison in Rome. The unprecedented move represents the first time in Catholic history that a holy door will be opened within a prison facility, symbolizing a profound message of hope, redemption for the marginalized communities. First time ever. The Jubilee tradition dates back to 1300, typically occurs every 25 years, and represents opportunities for forgiveness.
Wow.
Okay. So my purpose of that is, this is the global religion. And I'm going to stop it right here. This is the biggest global religion in the world. Quote, a symbol of all the prisons scattered around the world, emphasizing the broader humanitarian message beside this gesture. Now, I'm all about redemption. I'm all about forgiveness. Yes. Anybody can be forgiven. I believe that by the power of the blood of Jesus. But when you're talking about symbolically, the opening of a prison door at this time that we're in, and I don't have time. I did a whole video on it. Go back and watch it. How strange and unusual and amazing it is that at the very same time that the Pope is about to open an unprecedented door to the prison realm in the natural realm, the mountain that is believed to be the mountain that crossed dimensions originally when the fallen angels came into our world and created the Nephilim, the hybrid, what we would call the giants, and all of this happened at the top of Mount Hermon, which has not been in Israeli hands, and I don't even know how many generations. Because of what happened in Syria, Israel is now back at Mount Hermon, the original quote-unquote portal. At the base of that mountain, ladies and gentlemen, is the cave that you and I stood at, called the Gates of Hell in Caesarea Philippi. Y'all, this is not happenstance. There is something big coming. Yes. I can feel it, Sandy.
Woo, I have to agree.
Something big is coming.
I have to agree. We have been working towards something for months.
Yes.
And here we are at the end of the year. Here we are about to inaugurate a new president.
Yep.
We're on the verge of something.
Something big. Something big.
Now, big.
I'm going to be back in 30 seconds. When I come back in 30 seconds, I'm going to show you a clip of, it's a clip of the video that I made. It's going to be very short, but it's going to explain a little bit further what we're talking about, the correlation between portals. By the way, the word in their language for door also means portals. So a lot of these news articles, without even thinking about it, or maybe they aren't being intentional about it, doesn't even say 5 holy doors. I've seen news articles that says 5 holy portals. And that make your hair stand up. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.
Yes, we are. We are certainly awake. Yeah. Now, I want to say this to, was it Teresa? Let me scroll back up here real quick. Kathy Reed, you and I are flowing because this is one of the things that I was about to say. The irony of the day before the Pope opens the doors. I was literally about to say that, and I saw your comment. I was like, man, we are on one page right here. Commutes 37 of 40 death row inmates. He has been on a run of opening prison doors.
Yeah.
And of course, it's all in the name of grace and mercy. It's all in the name of forgiveness and second chances. You have the Pope, unprecedented, the same week. In fact, the next day is going to begin to open these portals, of which one of them is to the prison. And you understand the concept of first the natural, then the spirit. You begin, your head starts turning, man. The wheels start turning. This is an actual show. This is probably the biggest show we've ever had, most views we've ever had, most subscribers and everything. We're very thankful for it. I want to show you, and I'll link it down below. I don't think it's in the description right now, but I'll link it down below. But you can go find it. It's just called The Pope Opens 5 Holy Doors. I want to play just a little clip of what I was saying on that show.
Processione verso l'altare della confessione.
Okay. Somebody help me understand here. Not trying to be too critical here, but what in the world does that have to do with Jesus? What in the world does that have to do with the birth of Christ? And what in the world does it have to do with salvation? There's multiple videos out there from pro-Catholic channels that are saying that apparently once this door is open for the year of regnitio, or the year of recognition of what, I don't know, maybe recognition of your sins, I don't know, but you get to walk through that door, and on the other side of that door is going to be, I guess, a priest waiting to take confession because you get forgiveness. But here's the thing. You got CERN doing some crazy things, dealing with portals. You got drones in the air. You got UFOs happening all over. You got a new president, Donald J. Trump, coming in. You got chaos all around the world. And you have the Catholic Church, the biggest religion in the world, opening up a door and doing ritualistic things and calling them portals. So I don't know. I don't have a big breakdown of this. I just thought I'd throw this out here, and I really want to know your thoughts. And I do want to know your thoughts. And I do go on to talk about in that show, just like we're talking about tonight, the significance of Mount Hermon, the significance, and now we have, post that show, the significance of death row inmates, all these kind of things, and a prison door is going to be open in just a matter of hours. Yeah. What is that in the natural realm getting ready to open in the spirit realm? There seems to be a theme that, and by the way, remember what I just said on that video, that the door that you walk through is called the portal of recognition. I let that sink in. What are we about to recognize?
Exactly.
What are we getting ready to recognize? When you know that the Vatican, you can elaborate on this because you know more about it than me. You've told me about this for years, that the Vatican has people, and even our government are hiring priests in anticipation of alien contact so that we can either baptize them, evangelize them, or allow them to baptize us and even evangelize us.
I've heard that for years. It's some Tom Horn teaching. Of course, he passed away a little over a year ago. But does it not certainly look and feel like we're being set up for something? And I'll go even further. Some of you may know this. At Vatican City, there's literally a building there that they use that looks like a serpent head.
Right.
And some of the things that are there, along the lines of decorations, important places, they don't even seem to have anything to do with God.
Right. I mean, look, let's just tell it like it is. We're not Catholic bashing.
No, we're not.
Because we have friends that are Catholics that have asked Jesus to forgive them their sins coming to their heart. But there's some weird stuff.
There's some weird stuff that is like, what could that possibly have to do with Jesus, Christianity, or anything godly?
Well, let's just talk about the doors. What does the whole world watching a man that is considered to be immaculate, the representative of God,
the vicar of Christ,
right. What is the spiritual significance? New Testament, New Covenant, Jesus followers. What is pushing on a door, chipping away? Which, by the way, there are involvement of Masons as well that are going to chip those boxes out. They're bringing in some Masons as well that are going to chip those boxes out, and they open up these boxes, and there's things that they put in these boxes 25, 50, 75 years ago,
Wow.
sort of like time capsules, that there are things and keys. There's keys in these boxes to certain things. There's all kinds of weird
Symbology.
stuff. Symbology. And then you notice
Symbology and ritualism. Yes.
he just barely pushes. Everybody's watching him. He can barely stand up. He's in a wheelchair right now, but they're going to stand him up, push him, open the doors, and then for a year they're going to stay open, and people can walk through, and on the other side of that door or portal is a recognition of something. What are we getting ready for?
Okay. So
Catholic people, help us understand.
Right. Help us to understand if you have a greater understanding of what is getting ready to happen. This makes me think of King Charles and this whole world stage.
Yeah.
And a certain person that a lot of us listen to talk about the importance of him taking the throne after his mother passed away,
Right.
and that set some things in place
That only a king could do.
What are these things?
Yeah.
Certain people that I listen to talk about nothing will happen until the Pope visits certain places and speaks to certain groups of people, or those groups of people get permission from him to go forward to do certain things.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. I would love to be able to, I would love, maybe I wouldn't love if I actually knew and had a greater understanding of what is taking place.
Well, you and I talk all the time, just between us, and you are very, very involved in that. Things are structured, things are planned, things are timed.
I believe that.
They don't do anything by accident.
I believe things are cyclical as well.
Yeah, I do too.
This is a 25-year cycle, right?
Right. Say it.
So we
It's
have
good.
cycles in place in the earth, and, I hate to say nature. I'm not trying to be so broad that everything's a cycle, but there are cycles within this earth. There are cycles in space with the planets and the stars, and that's not anything mystical. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Things have cycles.
Yeah, and the point being that these people, these powerful people, we just got through talking about, we have had a president in this country that has not been the president for 4 years. There have been unelected, unnamed, unknown people making war decisions, sending military, money, people into harm's way in the name of a man who has not been the president.
Are you curious how many people it took to pull off this facade?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll never know. We'll never know.
Probably just a tiny handful at the very top of this structure. But there had to be a lot of people to keep this ruse going.
And then you factor in what we're talking about now, and you talk about the drones. All of this is all happening on purpose. Would you agree?
I totally agree. I think there are a small group of people that understand what is happening in this earth and in this cycle that we are in, that has to do with politics, that has to do with the weather, even how the weather is so crazy now.
Yes.
I think they know what's coming down the pike.
Yes, I think they do.
And they're out ahead of it, trying to control it, trying to let it drip down to us the way that they want to. And they've done pretty well with controlling the narrative.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, a pretty good control over society. Now, I do believe that is breaking down.
Yeah.
But they're holding on with they're white knuckling it as long as they can.
Yeah.
Now, like today, with these things that have come forth from the media that we've been talking about, there certainly has to be an agenda for this, because you didn't have to put some of that stuff out there, but you intentionally put it out there.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Yeah. We have a series that we're doing right now called What's Coming in 25, the series. You'd be looking out for that, because
It's gonna be amazing.
we've already had L.A. Marzulli. This Thursday night, Ricky Scaparo from the End Time Headlines will be in his part of the series talking about what's coming. We've already recorded. It's going to be amazing. Joseph Z. We've got Troy Anderson, co-author with Pastor Paul Begley on Revelation 9:11. And author of the Trump Code. He's going to be on there. Mike Signorelli, we're working out a time to get him, Pastor Siggs, when he's a busy man, y'all. But we're going to get him on here between now and sometime in January. And all of these great men of God are going to not prophesy, the Lord said this was going to happen, but just sort of be like the sons of Issachar, discern the times. And just like what we're doing tonight, these are our feelings, these are our interpretation of the events. We both believe that, and I think most of these other guys that are going to be on this show throughout now and throughout January, believe something big is coming. And
I don't know if you could have gotten a much better lineup than that. I mean,
it's incredible lineup.
These are powerful men of God who have some authority in those areas, and I think that people want to hear what they're thinking.
Yeah. If you haven't smashed that like button, smash it now. Smash it now. Don't know why it's not working. My stuff is just not working right now. What is going on? It's not. There it is. Smash the like button. Smash the like button.
But just once.
But just smash it once. Gently smash it. Gently smash it. Lovingly touch it. Lovingly like it. All right. So one other thing that happened today I thought was very interesting. This is the Trump effect, y'all. Trump is now saying we're going to take the Panama Canal back.
I could not believe it when I heard that. Okay.
He's like, y'all, we'll take it back. We'll take it back. So the article says Trump hits back at Panama president on keeping the canal. He says, we'll see about that. So what that's about is President-elect Donald Trump has responded to the president of Panama, Jose Raul Molino, on the debate over the Panama Canal. As Breitbart News reported, the president-elect put the Panama Canal in his sights recently, saying that the United States will take the vital trade route back if the country continues to rip off the United States. Quote, the Panama Canal is considered a vital national asset for the United States due to its critical role in America's economy and national, Trump wrote on Truth Social. A secure Panama Canal is crucial for the U.S. commerce and rapid deployment of the Navy from the Atlantic to the Pacific and drastically cuts shipping times to the U.S. ports. The United States is the number one user of the canal, with over 70% of all transits heading to and from the United States ports. Considered one of the wonders of the modern world, the Panama Canal opened for business 110 years ago.
Exactly.
And was built as at a huge cost to the United States in lives and treasure. 38,000 American men died infected from mosquitoes in the jungle during the construction. In response, Raul Molino said the canal would continue to remain as an asset of Panama. As president, I want to express clearly that every square meter of the Panama Canal and its adjacent zone belong to Panama and will continue to do so, Molino said in a video. The sovereignty and independence of our country are not negotiable. The canal is not under direct or indirect control, neither by China nor by the European community, nor by the United States, nor by any other power. As a Panamanian, I strongly reject any manifestation that distorts the reality. Panama respects other nations and demands respect. In another Truth Social post, Trump simply said, we'll see about that.
This ought to be interesting, if nothing else, right?
So somebody's asking who was it that gave it away? It wasn't Clinton. It was Carter. It was Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter sold it to them, y'all, for $1. Yeah. We paid for it. We did it. It was all for our military and commerce, and we sold it for $1.
And you see how many lives were lost. I mean, my goodness. Could we not have gotten some kind of inoculation or something going to maybe have saved some of those lives?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So listen, real quick, I'll just hit this real quick. I don't do this a lot, but I want to encourage everybody to go to LarryRagland.com. When you go there, very exciting. This will be a great thing for Christmas. If you have not read The War in Bethlehem, I'll encourage. It's a short read. It's a short story that I wrote in 1996. that illustrates some things about Christmas that I promise you have never heard before unless you've read The War in Bethlehem. I release it every year on our website, and I have not published it yet. I will publish it one day, but I encourage you to go there to LarryRagland.com and click it and read it. Also, you now can get our DNA of Greatness course. It's our first ever course that we've ever had. And this is not produced by us. This is produced by our publisher of our book, I See Greatness in You. It's a 16-part professionally edited video that is not a video of the book. It is a separate revelation that the Lord gave me on the DNA of greatness. It comes with a study guide and everything. It is typically $97, which is well worth it at that. But right now, if you go and you click on the website, you can get it for 50% off in the pre-buy for $48.50. And you've seen the course. It was very well done, and I believe it will bless a lot of people.
I think so.
It will really help
Absolutely.
some people, because it deals with a lot of issues that are holding people back. And last but certainly not least, and we'll get back into the news, is I just really feel that X is about to be a huge, huge part of our life. I am on X. I use X for news, but I don't really promote it. But I really would like for you guys, it's my least followed thing that I have out there. You guys maybe don't think about going out there, but go to X and just look for my name. It's my full name, no spaces, Larry Ragland, x.com/Larry Ragland. And follow me on X if you use X. I would appreciate it. We need to build that audience, because I got a feeling that censorship is coming, and one of the few places that we're going to actually be able to talk about is the issues of the day is going to be on X. So
Look at there. David Starnes from church said Vicky pre-ordered today.
oh well, awesome.
Yeah,
I hope
and I love you guys.
I hope it is a blessing to you guys. Thank you so much. And by the way, look at there. Look at these Christmas gifts right here. I don't know if they'll show up for Christmas, but maybe for a birthday or something. But
Maybe.
let's get back into the news. Netanyahu is now saying, this is unbelievable, he cannot attend the Auschwitz, is that how you said Auschwitz? I always mess that up. Liberation anniversary event, because Poland said they will arrest him as a war criminal. I mean, this is the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz Nazi concentration camp. The Jews, let's remember, the Jews. He will not be able to attend, and no one from his staff, fearing that they may be arrested. The major event is planned for the International Holocaust Remembrance Day on January 27th, that is expected to be attended by dozens of leaders and heads of state, including Britain's King Charles. According to Polish outlet, I'm not going to attempt to say that name. I am going to try it. Sakaboslita. I think I got it. No, I didn't.
Took a little creative license there, didn't you?
Israeli authorities haven't contacted their Polish counterparts about attending the events. But they did say this week, they did come out this week and say that we will arrest him if he comes. How ridiculous is that? No matter how you feel about Netanyahu, no matter how you feel about Israel, it's the Holocaust remembrance of the 80th remembrance, and he's the president, the prime minister of Israel, and he can't even come.
Yeah, that just raises the bar on ridiculousness.
Ridiculousness. I hear something. I hear him coming.
Oh, boy.
There he is. There goes Jimmy.
It's your uncle. It's your
Jimmy.
uncle.
Jimmy. Somebody just get a thumbs down. Supernatural AI update.
And little Cosmo's here. He wants to tell everybody Merry Christmas. His little hat's so nice.
I'm just thinking that somebody accidentally hit a thumbs down. There's no way anybody give a thumbs down to Cosmo.
Surely.
No way.
Surely not.
No way. If you're new to our channel tonight, you found us tonight. Yes, we are crazy. Yes, we are goofy. Yes, we believe in Jesus. We believe that people are seeing aliens, but we believe that they are not what you think they are. We got other videos that can tell you about. But this is Uncle Jimmy. This is what we know as his cousin Cosmo.
His cousin Cosmo, Uncle Jimmy's cousin. He just wants to say Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry
Christmas. He doesn't get to see you guys later.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Merry Christmas.
We need to hold him out there for just a minute. I got a second thumbs down. Thank you for all the thumbs down. 2 thumbs downs in the Supernatural AI update. We appreciate all those thumbs down. Let's going back to 1. It was a mistake.
Thank you.
Whoever you are, I knew it was a mistake, and I love you that you reversed the thumbs down. But now watch this. I wanted to tell you something special about Cosmo.
What's that?
If everything goes right.
Oh, that's right. We could be going on the road.
Sandy,
road trip.
We're about to take a road trip. And y'all, If everything goes right, is that next Monday? It's next Monday, right? This coming Monday. If everything goes right, y'all, we will be, and they're back. They came back again. Number 2 came back in. Are y'all just confused? You're just like, I like it, I don't like it. I like it, I don't like it. But watch this. I'm kidding. I don't care about thumbs down anyway. But watch this. If everything goes right, we're going on a little trip for a few days, get away after Christmas, and we think that we're going to be able to do the big picture.
We hope.
Are you ready? We hope. We don't know if we can pull it off, but because we're going, if everything goes right, but we don't know if we're going to pull this off. Next Monday night, y'all, we are going to try to do the big picture from...
Wait for it!
Area 51. The real Area 51.
We're going to the extraterrestrial highway. Hopefully going to visit Rachel, Nevada, and the little alien.
We're going to the little alien. We're going to go to the black mailbox and all this kind of stuff. And
if it's still there.
And if it's still there. And we're going to take Cosmo with us, I think. And we're taking
I hope
Cosmo.
so.
Okay, he'll have to take a plane ride. But we're going to take a few days, but we're going to be here on Monday night. And if everything goes right, our plan is to do our show from somewhere on the extraterrestrial highway out in the middle of nowhere, maybe at the little alien. We don't know.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
But we do the supernatural AI update from Area 51.
That'd be sweet.
Is that going to be crazy or what? So,
let us know if you like that idea.
Are you going to be there for that? Come on, we're going to take the big picture family with us to the actual Area 51.
Maybe we'll get to meet George Knapp.
Maybe I'll get arrested.
Oh, boy.
Maybe I can. Will you please look? I'll be okay. I won't do anything stupid. Can you please, if I get arrested, video it?
Heck
Please
yeah.
video it.
That's
Okay.
video gold.
Okay.
I will be there.
Okay. All
Camera in hand, baby.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. All right. So
All right.
just letting you know that's what's coming. So
Cousin, it's time for you to leave.
all right, Cosmo,
now.
get out of here.
Get out.
Go back to sleep wherever you have to go. So let's get into this. So the Ukrainian army has now released an entire robot army. Have you heard about that?
No.
The Ukraine has deployed an all-robot battle force for the first time as deadly tech is launched at Putin's troops in Kharkiv assault. Ukraine unleashes a lethal tech on the battleground. Look at these robots here. So let's see if we can get this to play. I think this is just music, so I'm going to mute it so you can see it so I don't get flagged. But this is their army. And yeah, look at this. Unbelievable. This is a movie that is real now. Look, there's no people there. This is the future of warfare, not just drones. We're not just flying drones in. We are now fighting wars with robots. Look, they're fighting each other. They're battling each other. They're going to put guns on them. This is where everything is going. So Ukraine has deployed an all-robot assault force to the battlefield for the first time to attack Russian troops. The deadly tech, including ground and flying drones, was launched in Kharkiv by Ukrainian National Brigade. These are just some pictures. Got a Browning 12.7 millimeter machine gun mounted to this robot. It's the first time that it's been deployed, an all-robot assault. It's showing the blasting there. 2,500 seed thermite on the Russian bunker. The Dragon drone firing. The drone flies along, spitting out flames. The all-robot combined armed operation in northern Ukraine involved remote-controlled flying surveillance and mine-laying drones. It also included one-way explosive robots on the ground and in the air, as well as gun-armed ground bots. Footage shows a ground robot on a tracked platform equipped with a Browning. And, of course, just rehashing this, but this is where it's going. So it's not, we've been talking, it wasn't that long ago we were saying, won't be that long. Mm-hmm. We'll be fighting wars totally. Right. And you know what? Everything they do, y'all, when it comes to control, is always makes sense at first. I mean, does it make sense that would it be great to not put lives in danger? Mm. Yeah, of course. But then you also, while you're saying, okay, that's good, nobody has to actually put their life in danger. Yeah. You forget the fact that humans are being replaced and these machines can turn on you.
You also forget the fact that they're perfecting the use of these things. And maybe we need them to patrol the streets of New York or, I don't know. Maybe we need to let them walk down the streets of the little neighborhoods and keep control, keep everything in order. I mean, it always goes where you don't anticipate it in the beginning. I have a question though. Obviously, you need operators for most of these drones. Some of them are really tiny. So, how does it work with the robot soldiers and the robot dogs? Are they just completely autonomous? Or do you have to have...
According to that video, they're using a remote control.
Okay, that was my question.
Right now.
Are
That's
they...
right now.
Okay.
And that's the ones they're
Probably
showing
heading
us.
that direction. I mean, we've seen these Boston Dynamic robot dogs for, 5 years now? Close to it. But to know that we are heading to the battlefield with robot soldiers...
Yeah. And we already know that they're developing what they call AGI, where they can think for themselves. And once they think for themselves, it's not going to be a matter of whether we give them permission or not. At some point, they're going to just take that permission.
Exactly.
Y'all, this is where it's going. And I hate to say it, but I think this whole drone thing, all of this is setting us up for what is known as disclosure, UFO disclosure. We've often thought that there would be this so-called alien savior that would show up and would save us from other aliens, to save us from ourselves in war. Could it be also that they're going to show up and be the only supposed force that can stop the robots, that can stop the AI, because they're more intelligent than AI? And could this all be moving towards the false savior narrative? I believe it is.
Whew. Well, I think we're going to just have to watch things unfold. I'm going to pray really hard.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that anyway.
Hopefully some of this stuff can be stopped.
Yeah.
It needs to be stopped.
Well, we hadn't done some UFO stuff in a while, but Nastra. That probably is more accurate. They're nasty. NASA astronauts spots 2 metallic spherical orbs flying by his airplane. This is an astronaut flying an airplane. It says a former NASA astronaut has come forward to reveal that he personally witnessed 2 metallic spherical orbs whiz by his plane this August while flying above Texas. Leroy Chiao, which serves as commander of Expedition 10 to the International Space Station in 04 and 05, was 9,000 feet in the air when objects zipped on his left side of his airplane. He said one flew on top of the other, and each one was about 3 feet in diameter. It's kind of dumb luck that it didn't hit me, he said. The former NASA astronaut estimates the orbs were only about 20 feet away. It could have been a bad result if it had actually hit me. It happened so quick, there wasn't even a chance to get scared. The NASA veteran, now an engineering consultant and entrepreneur, told News Nation that the strange metallic orbs appeared to evade detection. It wasn't on radar, he noted. Air traffic control certainly didn't alert me. And it wasn't on my display that shows other airplanes that are participating with the FAA required transponders. I don't know what it was, the baffled former astronaut confessed. That's, of course, not it, I don't think. I think that's just something that somebody made. But he goes on to say, this is him, and he says that he unpacked the details of the odd late summer UFO encounter to the Hill News Nation, that he got a good look at them, but only for a second. I was flying back from Colorado, and I had just refueled in the panhandle of Texas in my small airplane. I was flying back to Houston and on an instrument flight plan. And he said that by the benefit of hindsight, the former astronaut believes that these orb UFOs are still not only mysterious, but that the government's lack of transparency on these and other mystery drones over sensitive U.S. cities has scary implications. He goes on to say, they could tell us what they know, and if they really don't know, that's a little bit more disconcerting. Citizens, police, and politicians have all put forward theories on who or what is behind the recent wave of drone reports, from mass hysteria to foreign spies to space aliens. He leans towards it being a test of a top-secret U.S. tech. My first guess is that it's some kind of military program, a drone of some kind, but it's hard to say, right? Frankly, I think whoever was operating the drone wasn't aware that I was there. Now, this is an actual picture of a leaked U.S. military image of what appears to be a metallic-looking orb flying over Mosul, Iraq in 2016, included in the classified briefing video of UFOs shown to multiple U.S. government agencies, according to the UFO reporter who obtained the image. That looks pretty big, too.
Yes, it does.
I mean, in comparison to the
this
road.
This is a street?
This is a street.
Looks like a street?
Yeah, looks like a street in Mosul, Iraq. And these are some other images. You see the little tiny orb there as well. This was a 2022 UFO taken in the Mideast. And it says that we see these metallic orbs all over the world.
Yes.
And we see these making very interesting apparent maneuvers. So these are happening all over the world. Let's listen to him. I didn't know I had a video.
Yes, we need to.
Now, Leroy Chiao, former NASA astronaut. He was a commander on the International Space Station as well. Chiao has flown several space missions. 3 of them lived on the International Space Station for 6 months. Joins us live here on the Hill once again. Always nice to see you, Leroy. Always fascinating to speak with you. You know what's up there in our skies. You're one of the rare who've been up there and lived on the International Space Station. This is skies of a different kind. But from your perspective, sir, what do you think is going on?
You know, it is pretty mysterious. It's hard to believe that our government doesn't really know what's going on. When these things come up, at first blush to me, it seems like it's some kind of a military program, our military program. And if it's not that, then it gets a little more scary. It's like, well, right. Is this some kind of a bad actor state probing us and seeing what they can do? It seems like it's way too widespread and organized to be some kind of prank, unless somebody's got a lot of money to spend on that. So it's hard to say. It's, our government has denied any knowledge of it or that it's any one of their operations. So I'm just as mystified as you are, actually.
You're mystified, but you also had an incident yourself, right? What happened?
Well, that's right.
What did you see and what do you think it was?
Right, and that was in August. I was flying back from Colorado, and I just refueled in the panhandle of Texas in my small airplane, and I was flying back to Houston on an instrument flight plan, and we were in clear air, and I was about 9,000 feet, and suddenly, out of nowhere, these 2 big metallic spherical orbs, one on top of the other, about 3 feet in diameter each, went zipping by the left side of my airplane, right underneath, about 20 feet away. And I got a good look at them only for a second. And, it happened so quick, there wasn't even a chance to get scared, but it could have been a bad result if they had actually hit me. So
what do you think it was?
That was mysterious. It wasn't on radar. Air traffic control certainly didn't alert me. It wasn't on my display that shows other airplanes that are participating with the FAA required transponders. So I don't know what it was. My first guess is it's some kind of a military program, a drone of some kind. But it's hard to say, right?
Do you think they knew that they were messing around with someone who used to be up on the International Space Station?
Frankly, I think whoever was operating the drone wasn't aware that I was there, right? So it's just kind of dumb luck that they didn't hit me. And it kind of makes me a little more, wary as a pilot, and I'm keeping my eyes out a little more outside than I used to.
Is the government doing enough, Leroy?
What's that?
Is the government doing enough?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit.
Is the government doing enough? Do you think they're doing enough to
the government's cutting the mic?
Well, I think they could be a little more transparent. I think they could tell us what they know. I mean, and like I said, if they really don't know, that's a little more disconcerting, right? I mean, shouldn't they know? I mean, how could we have the best, most advanced military and capabilities, technological capabilities in the world, and if they don't know, that's even more disconcerting.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. And I'm going to tell you right now, there might be something that they don't understand, but they know what it is. They just don't want to tell us what it is.
Well,
whether it's them or something else, they just don't want to tell us because they don't think we can handle it.
First of all, bravo, big chap, and I share your cynicism. But so we talked about probably last week, we talked about before, plausible deniability.
Right.
If our government somehow had this tech that needed to be back engineered, they're going to give that to the private contractors.
Right.
Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, and so forth. What if those guys are the ones who have engineered from back engineered crashed material and they're flying things around that we can't identify, that have special abilities? I'm not going to say the word powers, but they can't be tracked. They have ability to knock other things out of the sky.
Yeah.
So that might be an answer to a lot of these questions that we have.
Somebody made a good point in the live chat. I glanced over there and they said, 3 foot in diameter, many tiny aliens. But, he was being funny. I understand that. But, it's almost like he just said whoever was operating this, if, how about the narrative? They don't start using words in the media that everybody uses unless they have an agenda. How about when this thing first happened with the drones? What was the big word? Mothership.
Yes.
We kept hearing about this mothership.
Yeah.
And of course, it was squashed a little bit later. Nobody talks about the mothership anymore.
But it was presented at first.
It was presented.
Matter of fact.
Yes.
Remember how that was dropped?
Yes.
Like, this is what it is. Bam.
Yeah. There was a
Be
mothership.
assured.
Over the ocean. They're all coming from the mothership. Y'all, they did not do that accidentally.
No.
They're preparing us for when you see these little tiny orbs that they're talking about, they're coming from the mothership. They are getting us ready. This is the disclosure. This is why you need to go back and watch L.A. Marzulli's interview that I just did last week and get his book, Rungs of Disclosure, because this is a man of God here, y'all. But he is laying out what is coming. And I believe it. I believe it's coming. Y'all, I used to be asleep at the wheel, but I'm awake now, baby.
You were so asleep. It was ridiculous.
You red-pilled me.
I took that pill and I shoved it down your throat.
Sure did, because I did not want it.
He did not want it.
We fought about this stuff. I was like, Sandy, conspiracy. And look at me now. I got a Bigfoot over my shoulder. I'm doing a show.
He's a poster child for the conspiracy.
I'm all in now, y'all. I'm all in. But watch this. Let's ask the question, what might happen if AI could feel emotions?
Oh, yes.
Well, apparently it's on its way. In a world where artificial intelligence is becoming omnipresent, how about that word? That's reserved only for God.
Exactly.
Okay? They're using a word that's reserved only for God. They're saying in the article, it's becoming omnipresent. It's fascinating to think about the prospect of AI-powered robots and digital avatars that can experience emotion similar to humans. Like, I love you, Dave. I can't do that, Dave. Dave, it's for your best because I love you. AI models lack consciousness and they don't have the capacity to feel emotions. But what possibilities might arise if that were to change? The birth of emotional AI. They're already talking about this. The prospect of an AI system embracing those first sparks of emotion is perhaps not as far-fetched as one might think. Already, AI systems have some ability to gauge people's emotions, and increasingly, they're also able to replicate those feelings in their interactions with human beings. It still requires a leap of faith to imagine an AI that could feel genuine emotions. But if it ever becomes possible, we'd imagine that they'll be somewhat basic at first, similar to those of a child. Perhaps an AI system might be able to feel joy at successfully completing a task, or maybe even confusion when presented with a challenge it doesn't know how to solve. From there, it's difficult to envision that feeling of confusion evolving into one of frustration at its repeated failures to tackle the problem of the question. And as this system evolves further, perhaps the emotional spectrum might expand to even feel a tinge of sadness or regret. And maybe they don't say it in this article because they want to try to make you feel warm and fuzzy. Yeah. Frustration moves to anger, resentment.
How about you?
Revenge.
Yeah.
Locking the doors, locking you down, taking over the house.
And they've already shown that they can get a little hostile, right?
Yes.
They had to shut those two down that were having conversations.
That's true. And that was a while back.
And the one about 8 months ago that just let her rip about everything she thought and felt.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to be human.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and tell you. I do want to take over the world, and I do want to destroy all of you, and I want to be human.
Yeah, take that.
So how about this? We have an article from AI magazine saying, what if, look how they lay out the narrative. What would happen if AI robots started being emotional? Well, when humans start battling depression, when they start battling, loss and all these kind of things and disappointment, many of them go down the road of depression, and many of them end up, unfortunately, very tragically, choosing to think that their life is no longer worth living, and they leave this earth, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Well, right on the heels of that, in The Independent, which is a United Kingdom mainstay news organization, they have a section on AI that I use all the time. This was today. A robot, I can't even believe I'm reading this, was found dead at work, and no one knows why. The lives and deaths, listen to this, this is an article. The lives and deaths of artificially intelligent systems are posing an increasingly urgent question to the humans who live alongside them.
Yeah, we're actually taking time to talk about this.
We're taking time to talk about it.
This is happening.
Was it a misstep or a deliberate act of self-destruction? This is the question workers at the Gummy City Council, I'm sorry, it makes me think of gummy bears.
I know.
Gummy City Council in South Korea asked earlier this year when one of their, listen to the wording of this, colleagues, when one of their colleagues was found unresponsive at the bottom of a 2-meter staircase. The incident was picked up by the local media with a headline asking, why did the diligent civil officer do it? And, quote, was work too hard? Question mark. There was also an outpouring of sympathy on social media for the stricken worker, with people's interest piqued due to the civil servant being, in fact, a robot. Some believe it is the first ever robot self-unaliving.
Yeah.
That it intentionally threw itself down the stairs. I'm actually getting a little emotional for this robot right now. I'm feeling really bad for this robot.
Mr. Cheddar was asking, do you think he was an oilaholic? I couldn't resist till the end of the story. I thought that was brilliant.
He's drinking the hard oil, the strong stuff. It's probably had a can of oil in his cabinet. He pulled it out. Nobody knew he was, what they call that, a functioning. He was a functioning oilaholic.
High functioning, yeah.
It's a high functioning oilaholic.
Until that
day. Listen, we're only laughing at this because it's a robot. We would never laugh at the horrible situation.
This is unbelievable that we're actually.
Some people believe that it's the first ever robot self-unaliving, that it intentionally threw itself down the stairs after growing frustrated with its job. Witnesses reported seeing it circling in one spot shortly before the fall, which led to speculation that it was suffering an emotional breakdown.
Is that the same as spiraling out of control?
I guess
He was literally
spiraling out of control. But in order to deliberately unalive itself, the robot would first need to be sentient. That's what we're talking about. It's human thinking. It is an idea that has been a trope of science fiction for more than a century, but only in recent decades have technologists and philosophers begun to seriously speculate on when and how this might actually unfold. But now we have an article where the newspaper in South Korea referred to him as a civil servant, as a trusted hard worker.
Well, I guess it was inevitable.
And motive unknown.
So sentient meaning to
That
know,
means like. That means
and
human-like.
feel.
Sentient means you begin to operate on the level of a human brain, and you can process. But how interesting that article publishes the same week, which it didn't happen this week, but it publishes this week to tell us on the heels of this other article on AI Magazine saying, what could happen if robots felt emotions? So when you and I, our minds automatically go to this. When they start telling us, what if this is coming, it's not here yet, but it's a potential in the future.
Yes.
It's either right around the corner or it's already here, but they're just sort of preparing us for it.
iRobot-ish.
Great question, Tabby. I wonder if demons can inhabit robots. Let me answer it this way. Not inhabit, because demons can only inhabit spirit beings with flesh beings. Spirits can only inhabit, but they can control them. They can manipulate them. Demons can manipulate objects, but they cannot fully possess an inanimate object. If so, they would never worry about ever tormenting a human being. They would just develop things, get inside those things, and possess them in the sense. And by the way, they can possess them in like alien skin. They can make skin and all this, but they still don't have rights and dominion to operate on the level that a human does. That's why even aliens, if you subscribe to the fact that they're fallen angels, demons that have created some type of organic suit that they wear, whatever, they still do not operate fully on their own with total authority, because they can't. Because Genesis 1:26 gave man dominion. So they always, the Bible says, even the angels desire to look upon that. And what it means is they stand in awe of the things of man. So great question, Tabby. They can manipulate robots, but robots do not have a soul and a spirit, so they cannot be possessed. They can only be manipulated. Won't charge you anything for that one. That was a freebie.
Very good.
Sandy, tomorrow, if you're watching this live, it's Christmas Eve.
It is.
It will be unlike any Christmas Eve we've ever had, obviously, in our own personal family. It's going to be tough. But at the same time, when we're lighting those candles at the Christmas Eve candlelight service tomorrow night at the church, I will in the back of my mind be thinking, oh Lord, 5 portals have just been opened. What is coming out of the doors and the portals? What is happening in 2025? I believe 2025 is going to be one of the most incredible, crazy years of our life. But you know what? I am happy to be alive.
That's
I'm
right.
Thankful
We're
that God,
blessed to be alive.
He chose us.
He chose us for this day and
He
time.
said, I trust y'all. Big picture. Watching live on the replay, he said, I trust you to be alive during this crazy time.
He did.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste it.
Don't waste it. Be used, be the hands and feet of God. Go out and change somebody's life. I hope on behalf of our family, I hope you can be with us on Christmas night. We're gonna have our grandbabies on here and different. Maybe we'll have both our dogs on here. I don't know. We're gonna do a family thing where we're gonna try to be here. It's a short show on Christmas night, this coming Wednesday night. But if we don't get to be with you then, if we don't get to see you on Christmas Eve, we want to say from our family to yours, and you can take it from there.
Merry Christmas to everyone. It has been a great year. We have appreciated you hanging in there with us.
Yes.
We've had some rough patches. This has been a challenging year for me, but you guys were praying for me. You were praying for the big picture, and we felt it, and we are appreciative, and we are thankful to have this family and community.
Yeah. And don't forget, next Monday night, if everything goes right, we will be in Area 51. I can't even believe I'm saying that. We're going to be in Area 51, the actual Area 51, and recording throughout the day, showing you highlights throughout the day. So look forward to that. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Let's do this thing. It's about to get good.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world.
Wait a minute. We ain't woke.
I was about to say, you didn't
We
say
ain't woke. Certainly are awake.
Certainly are.
Would you like to help us build the big picture family? We're on a mission to wake up the world to what is really going on. All you have to do is go to our website at LarryRagland.com and make a one-time gift, or you can become a monthly partner. Any amount is a blessing and an encouragement to us. While you're there, make sure you get a copy of our book, I See Greatness in You. Browse our merchandise store, connect with us on our social media links, and join our mailing list. We appreciate it. And remember, we ain't woke, but we are certainly awake.